Today we are here at Unnao FSTP, that is the fecal sludge treatment plant. This fecal sludge treatment plant is said to be the first fecal sludge treatment plant of Uttar Pradesh. The capacity of this fecal sludge treatment plant is 32 KLD, that is 32,000 liters per day. To begin with, I will give you a brief overview of the entire setup here in this plant premises, and thereafter I will take you through each and every unit, explaining its function and how it operates. So here you can see behind me two types of desludging vehicles that are available in the fecal sludge treatment plants. One is the tractor mounted fecal sludge desludging equipment unit, and the other is the truck mounted. Now we will walk through this entire fecal sludge treatment plant, wherein we will explain you each and every treatment unit. On my right hand side you can see two green colored pipes. These pipes are basically used to connect to the outlet of the tractor or the truck and receive the fecal sludge and septage coming into the plant. The first unit is a screen and grit chamber where the screening of solid particles and removal of grit particles occur. After this, both the settling tanks provided here work in tandem. That is, when one is filled for a period of 3 days, the other is kept empty, and when the first thickening tank is beginning to be empty, the second thickening tank is filled. The purpose of this thickening tank is to only remove the scum particles or the fat, oil and grease that is collected at the top by the skimmer arm shown here in the black colored unit. Moving forward from the two settling thickening tanks, there are two stabilization reactors that are provided here that also work in the same principle. When the first tank is filled and kept in storage for 3 days, the other tank is being emptied and the process is reversed as and when the loads arrive at the inlet of this fecal sludge treatment plant. The purpose of the stabilization tank is to stabilize the fecal sludge that is coming in, and then it is sent to the solid liquid separation unit. The solid liquid separation in this plant is done through a screw press. The screw press is basically a mechanized unit of dewatering, where you can see after the inlet, the process removes the solid particles in terms of the sludge cake, and the liquid particle or the liquid component is sent for further treatment in a separate treatment chain. The sludge that is collected here is then dried in this solar drying house, which provides the final form of stabilization in the presence of sunlight. To improve the process of screw press, there is generally a provision of polyelectrolyte dosing, which you can see provided, that is here. The liquid component of the liquid that is separated from the screw press is conveyed to this underground holding tank. At the end of this holding tank, there are certain submersible pumps which basically transfer the liquid component from this underground holding tank to the integrated settler and ABR and AF tank. The ABR and AF tank are basically anaerobic baffled reactor plus anaerobic filter tank. Here the liquid is allowed to remain inside the tank for certain retention time period, wherein the anaerobic treatment of the liquid component takes place. Filters in the form of natural pebbles are provided, which basically trap any solid that has passed through the screw press. After this, the liquid is then conveyed to the plant gravel filter, which basically is a concised version of natural filtration system. Here you can see there are 4 planted gravel filter beds which convey the water from the previous unit, and using filter materials such as small coarse pebbles and fine grained sand. It is filtered, and the water that is being used for growth of plants also provides a form of natural treatment through which the organic carbon, nitrogen and phosphorus is being consumed by the plant, and it results in the growth as you can see here. After the natural filtration system through the planted gravel filter, there is a final form of treatment that is provided, which is generally the tertiary treatment unit. The tertiary treatment unit comprises of two filters, a pressure sand filter and an activated carbon filter. And finally, it is passed through a UV system which basically disinfects the water before conveying the treated water into the polishing pond present behind me. After the disinfection through the UV system, here the polishing ponds is provided in the form of a cascade flow unit. The cascade flow unit basically takes the water from the top and allows the water to overflow by gravity and have certain amount of natural aeration processes to provide the final form of treatment before the water can be reused for various purposes. But here in this treatment plant, it is being used to create green spaces within the plant premises. After the screw press, while the liquid has a separate stream of treatment unit, the solid in the form of cake is treated in this sludge drying bed or solar based drying beds. The solar based drying beds basically comprises of this roof structure with exhaust fans that basically helps in maintaining the required temperature within the entire structure and allow thermal level of treatment for the dried solid sludge. After drying the sludge for a certain number of days, this can then be either disposed of or reused as per the applicable norms for this fecal sludge treatment plant. To explain the difference in the characteristics of the sludge or the solids before and after the drying process through the sludge drying beds, I will show you two samples. On the right hand, you can see the sludge that has come out of the screw press after dewatering. As you can see, it is in a cake-like format and it is very sticky to your hands, which indicates basically that it has certain amount of moisture content and that needs to be removed before its disposal or intended reuse. But after the drying process, as you can see, the sludge reduces its moisture content and basically turns into solid particles which can be easily crumbled and turned into a powder form. This indicates the importance of a sludge drying bed so that it can completely eliminate the excess amount of moisture that is present before the sludge is put into the sludge drying bed, and then this dry form of sludge can be put into disposal or reuse as required. To adopt a good practice in terms of sustainability for the operation of the fecal sludge treatment plants, you can see behind me several solar panels that have been installed here. The requirement of these solar panels is basically to generate electricity through the sun's radiation, store it for a period of 24 hours or a day, and then utilize this generated electricity in the operation of the plants as well as the lighting requirements during the night within the plant premises. In conclusion, this is a very good example that Unnao has set for managing its waste that is generated from non-sewage sanitation system in a safe and sustainable manner. Going forward, it would be ideal to have such successful case examples to shift towards circular economy by adopting concepts like resource recovery